Hey everyone, this is Angel from Apex Gaming with a brand new video for Yakuza 7. If this is useful, don't forget to leave a like or check the playlist right here for more videos of the game. In this video I am going to show you the fastest way to farm money in Yakuza 7, which is by far the company minigame. If you really don't like this minigame, I would suggest trying the Baita.com side quests because there are some that give you a ton of money, and I have a couple of those here in the video, so if you want to check those out, please take a look to the YouTube card in the top right corner or the links in the description of the video or the comment section so you can check them out. But with that said, I'll explain the basics of the company minigame so you can understand what's going on and eventually earn a lot of cash in no time. Sorry for all the Japanese text flying around. I played the Japanese version of the game, but I'll do my best to translate what is essential for you to understand this video. The goal of the company minigame is to manage your properties well enough so you can have a good performance at the shareholders meeting and climb up the company rank to reach the number 1 spot. There are two key elements to do this: properties and staff, and you can handle each one of them under menus on the left. Staff members can have one of 5 rarities: normal, rare, super rare, specially super rare, and ultra rare. The first 4 can be hired in 2 different ways. The first one is by using this menu, and the better your company ranking is, the better staff options will be available for you to hire eventually as you play for the minigame. The second option to hire people is finding them hidden in the city, and for that I have another video in the channel that you can watch using the link in the comment section or the YouTube card right here in the top right corner. The ultra rare category is exclusive to DLC characters, which I won't spoil here. The rarest the staff is, the better their stats are, but also their labor costs increase. Characters have 6 different stats, 3 that you can use while managing companies and 3 that are useful in the shareholders meeting. Let's focus for now on the first 3, which I will refer to their symbol on screen: gift, heart, and medal. Each of these stats matches exactly the ones that affect the sales of a property, which are gift, heart, and medal. The way this is reflected is by choosing 3 members of your staff to do a certain role in that specific property. The combination of all the staff stats will be reflected in the store stats, and if they meet the necessary threshold, you will be able to get a good performance in sales. Take into consideration that there are some staff members that are specialized in certain types of properties. So, matching the symbols will give you better results in the overall property stats. From time to time, while managing a business, you will find that the combination of the staff stats is not enough to meet the minimum requirements for good sales in the property. So, what you can do about this? Well, there are 3 different options. Hire new people that may fit the stats that you are looking for, upgrade your current staff by giving them training and leveling them up, or investing in each business stats. The first option, well, is pretty self-explanatory. You just find someone that is better at the job than the one that you already have. Upgrading your staff is really simple, and you can do this with this option. Every 5 levels you will hit a cap, but you can unlock that by giving them a raise. The maximum level is 30, so as long as you have the money you can invest in your employees and bring them to the maximum level, but every time that you give them a raise, you will increase their labor costs, so take that into consideration. If you decide to hire someone else, you need to allocate them in any of your properties. If not, you will be losing money every time you run operations. So, to avoid this, you need to fire any staff that is not working in a property. Once you fire someone, they will not be available for hire immediately, but they will come back to your roster eventually. For the third option, let's jump straight into the property management menu. From your total funds, you will have a percentage allocated to property management. In this menu, you can manage staff, strengthen your properties, sell properties, and buy properties. Managing your staff is pretty straightforward. You select a property and swap members from your roster to the leader and member positions. Strengthening your properties is a way for you to increase your sales and each individual stat of the business. This way, even if you have a weak staff, you can compensate and continue having good results. Just select any stat that you want to upgrade, and you will need to invest a specific amount of funds to level it up. There is a maximum of 4 levels that you can buy until your property is fully maxed. Once you enter the top 150 companies, you can start buying and selling properties as new property slots will be available for you. The only property you can't sell is a cookie store you begin with, but with that only exception, every single property can be sold, and the more you invest in their stats, you will get more money. I'm going to skip the funding menu because I only used it a couple of times and I didn't find it useful or necessary at all, so sorry about that. So now that we have our companies and staff in place, we can start doing business or running operations. Every time you choose to do so, you will see each property getting financial results depending on their sales, labor costs, and operation costs. And as a result, your stock price will go up, down, or stay the same. This animation is pretty cool the first couple of times, but after that, it is very convenient to use the R2 button to speed up the whole thing. Every round that you do business, your staff will be stressed and their happiness will slowly go down. If you continue without taking care of them, this will keep their performance while doing business. To prevent this, you have to go to Staff Management and select this option. The more you invest in their care, the happier they will be. Take into consideration that you can speed the process by, instead of selecting every single staff, using the auto care option with this button. After completing 4 different business rounds, the investors meeting will be available. Here you will have to select up to 4 different staff members to come with you and fight against up to 5 investors. Each investor has a symbol, red, blue, or green. This is basically a rock, paper, scissors game where the red beats green, green beats blue, and blue beats red. Besides that simple rock, paper, scissors game, there are other factors that can make some employees prove more useful than others, and these are the other 3 stats that we mentioned earlier in the video: persuasiveness, fighting spirit, and speech cost. Persuasiveness is the amount of damage your staff can deal against enemy investors. Fighting spirit is the amount of damage your staff can receive from an investor attack, and speech cost is how much using staff will cost you overall. To see this in action, let's jump to an actual investors meeting. Every meeting opens by checking the balance of your company in 3 areas: net funding, talent management, and sales to date. Depending if you had a good or bad performance in the previous 4 investment rounds, your support will range from -10% to +10%. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, I never did fully understand how to impact sales to date and net funding, but I have kind of a guess of how you can do it. So bear with me, and if anyone knows how to do this, please share it in the comment section down below. Net funding is related to the investments that are offered to you every now and then before doing business. Some of them have more risk than others but offer better rewards. If you have a positive balance with these investments, you will have a better rate. Talent management can have a better rate if you take care of all your staff before starting the meeting, so that is a pretty easy one. And finally, current sales to date is kinda ambiguous because this will depend on how much money you're getting on the previous round, but investing in TV spots that boost your sales for free rounds is the best way to get this rate up easily. Just a word of advice, I usually didn't care for any of these rates except for the talent management one, because even though having a good rate to start is great, it is not necessary to perform well, and I often overlooked it. But yeah, that's my advice. Now let's move on and understand what you see here on this screen. The meeting timer will be on the top right corner, investors will be in the middle, the rock paper scissors hint is in the bottom left along with the investor's approval rate, your staff will be in the middle, the total speech points will be in the bottom, to its right the speech points bar, and finally each event's power bar on the bottom right. Each investor's mood will be feeling depending on their mood. If they're happy, it will feel slowly, and if they're angry, it will feel faster. You can select an investor to engage with and they will bring up an argument with a color. Match the color with their weakness to break it fast. If you don't do it and the argument color fills up, the staff that is being targeted will suffer the amount of damage that the investor can deal. After you break the argument bubble, you can now start doing actual damage to the investor. If you attack an effective staff, the damage multiplier will increase with each attack, otherwise it will stay the same. So work out on memorizing those color weaknesses. Each attack will drain the bar at the bottom depending on the number of points each staff attack costs. If it's empty, you won't be able to attack and will need to wait until it refills with enough points. If you took care of your employees before the meeting, it will feel faster. And that is why this is the most important influence rate that you should focus on before getting into the shareholders meeting. Remember, after each investor's attack, leave some time for your points bar to refill. Each event's bar will slowly fill as time passes and will enable 3 tiers of apologies. Level 1 just does some damage to the investors. Level 2 will do 100 damage, stop the investor bar from filling up, and heal your staff by 30 points. And level 3 will do damage, stop the investor bar from filling, and heal your staff by 50 points. I usually waited only for the level 2 bar to use the apology because the difference between level 2 and level 3 is not that big, and sometimes finishing the meeting as quickly as possible was the best option for me. Once you have defeated all the investors or the time has run out, the session will be over, and if you have a positive approval rate, which I think is above 60%, you will get your money, otherwise you won't. The higher your company rank is, you will get more money, with the max amount being 3 million yen per successful shareholders meeting once you reach rank number 1. Obviously, the first shareholders meeting that you have, you will get like around 60,000 yen, but every time that you go up from one stratus to another of the overall ranking, you will get even more money. So yeah, in the long run, this is the fastest way that you can get money in Yakuza 7, trust me. After finishing the shareholders meeting, you can start again with the business rounds and continue doing this as long as you want. Doing the business rounds and shareholders meeting as fast as I could, I would get my 3 million yen within 7 minutes. So farming for an hour will allow me to do this 8 times for around 240 million yen, which is pretty good for investing in raw manufacturing or buying new weapons and gear anywhere else. And that is pretty much the basics of what the company minigame is. Hope this guide was useful, thank you for watching and keep enjoying Yakuza 7.